Hey, my name is Suresh and this is my what I've seen in this month's video. So I watched total of about 40 films in this month and let's talk about Martin Scorsese because I watched 9 of his films and these were The Last Temptation of Christ, Hugo, The Departed, Gangs of New York, The Aviator, Casino, The Color of Money, Cape Fear, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And talking about Martin Scorsese, he is pretty much the best director in the world, so you can't really argue about him. So now let's jump into the actual movies which I've watched. So at first I watched a documentary called Alphago. Alphago is a documentary about an AI which challenges the Go masters of the world to play a game with them. And to be very honest, I like the concept of the documentary, but I didn't like the way in which the documentary was filmed. So yeah, and then I watched a film called Trapped. It's a Hindi film and it's about a character which gets trapped in his own house, and it's pretty beautiful film. Actually, it's pretty horrifying film. The actor, the performance, the cinematography of the film is really nice, and the tone of the film, it's amazing. You should definitely watch it. And then I watched a documentary called Going Clear about Scientology. To be very honest, I wanted to know about the master more. That's why I watched this documentary, but I didn't really like this documentary. The concept was good and it was how cults operate and how horrifying they can get, but I didn't really like the way this documentary was made. Then I watched one of the Alfred Hitchcock's film, North by Northwest. North by Northwest is a very famous work of Alfred Hitchcock, but I couldn't connect to it that much because I know Alfred Hitchcock because of different other films. I've seen Psycho, I've seen The Birds, but North by Northwest was not like these movies. So yeah, and then I wanted to see a Coen Brothers film, that's why I watched The Big Lebowski. So this was a pretty good film. The way the minor characters were used in the film were amazing, and I would really recommend watching this film. It was great. And then I watched a 1983 film called Videodrome. It was a horror science fiction film and it was really good film. It was about president of a TV channel and how he gets involved in different types of content on his channel and how these things started changing his life. Some of the images of the film were really horrifying and you should definitely watch it. And then I watched a Hindi film called Kamyab. Kamyab is available on Netflix and it's a really good film. It's one of the most underrated films, and the film is about a side actor who gets to know that he has done 499 roles in his career and now he is on his way to find his last 500th role, and it has to be the grandest of his roles. So it's a story about him finding his last role. So it's a really good film and I would really recommend you watching this film. It's really good and it's really heart touching. And then I watched a Hindi web series called Permanent Roommates. I watched that season 1. I've seen that already, but it's really funny web series and you should really watch it. It's available on YouTube and you should definitely check it out. And then I watched a Netflix docu-series called The Last Dance, and oh my god, what an amazing docu-series it was. Some of the shots were really nice. I like the concept of this docu-series. It was about Michael Jordan and how Chicago Bulls reached the top of their league. You should definitely check this out. The storytelling of this docu-series is also very amazing. I really recommend watching this docu-series. It's really great and it will change your life. It has capability of changing your life. You should definitely check it out. And then I watched a Brazilian film in Portuguese language called Central Station. It's a 1998 film, but I really like this film. The cinematography of this film was really amazing. I'm not a fan of colors of this film, but you should definitely check it out. It's really heartfelt film and it's really good film. You should definitely check it out. And then I watched Lars and the Real Girl. It was a good movie. This movie made me believe that I was watching this film in middle of snow while I was watching it in middle of summer. So yeah, this movie has really meditative features about this film. The atmosphere and the tone of this film is really great and you should definitely watch this film. And then I watched The Lighthouse, and Lighthouse, as we all know, is such a great film. I can't really talk about this film because I have not researched about this film, but I really liked acting of William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. So yeah, this was really great film. Then I watched a documentary about Richard Linklater called Richard Linklater Dream is Destiny. It's a 2016 documentary and it's really good. It's about life of Richard Linklater, but in this documentary Richard Linklater is part of this documentary because in his earlier documentary he was not really involved in the film, but in this documentary. He's really involved and he's a part of the story. So yeah, this was really great. Then I watched Age Out. The cinematography of the film was really great, but I didn't like the story of this film. And then I watched Blue Valentine, and I really liked the colors of this film. And I also loved how they perfectly depicted a life after marriage and how the frustration was there in these characters. It's a film you should definitely check it out. Then I watched a French film called Raw. This was one of the most horrifying movie watching experience I've ever encountered. The story of this film was not so great, but the concept was great, and the thing which made it stood out was the filmmaking choices which this film may has made, and it was a really great film. Some of the scenes were so horrifying, and I would really recommend you watching this film. This is something different you will see, and you should definitely check it out. Then I watched German film called Victoria. Victoria is a film that's entirely shot in a single take. I found the story to be a bit shallow, but the cinematography of this film was just amazing. Some of the scenes were beautifully colored, and I really liked this film. The emotional connect which this film made was really great. And then I watched Under the Skin. I can't really talk about this film because I've not researched about this film as much as I've researched about other films, but it was something different that I have watched, and it was not my cup of tea to digest this film. So yeah. And then I watched a 2019 documentary, Love and Tosha. It's such a heartbreaking documentary, I can't tell you. This is about the life of Antel Yalchin. He was an actor, and this documentary covers his life and how he was, his relationship with his parents. So yeah, this was really heartbreaking documentary to watch, but it was really nice documentary, and you should definitely check it out. It's a major recommendation. You should definitely watch this documentary. And then I watched a film called The Tree of Life. I just wanted to relive and re-enjoy the moments and the memories of my first viewing of the film, and it was such a beautiful film. I can't really explain how much I love this film. It's a major recommendation. You should definitely check it out. Then I watched Christopher Nolan's Following, a 1998 film. This was his first film, and it was really great film to be considered as the first film. The story of the film was really great, and how the film was structured was really amazing. So yeah, this was really great film. And then I watched a Thai film. It was really amazing, Bad Genius. And even in the first shot, the way this film structures and the way this film establishes its characters is really amazing. I mean, I just wish that I can have a brain like the characters of this film, and because these are some pretty intelligent kids, and it's really great film. You should definitely check it out. And then I watched 1977 Suspiria. I mean, I liked the colors of the film, but I didn't really like the story of the film. It was not really horrifying. If I'm watching a horror film, I should be really horrified to watch it, but no, this was such a beautiful film, and the story was also very timeless. So you can pick up the story and you can place it in anywhere else in the world, and it would not make any difference. So this was my problem with Suspiria 1977. But then I watched Suspiria 2018. This was really horrifying. Colors were really sucked out of the film. It was really opposite of 1977 one, and it was really great film. It was really horrifying, and the best part of the film was that it was really time specific. This was really great film. You should definitely check it out. It's available on Amazon Prime. And then I watched 2019's film Waves. The cinematography of the film was really great. How music was used in the film was also really great. I liked the film until the first half, where things were really unpredictable and the things were going crazy. But after the first half, in the second half, things started to take a different tone, different turn, and you never really expected that the film will go in this direction. So yeah, this was my problem with this film. And then I watched a 2019 film called Ima. Ima is really beautiful film. It's a Spanish film, but the way it's shot, the way music is used in this film, and how the story slowly progresses and it pays off at the end is really amazing. And the music is something that stood out for me. The music is given by Nicholas Jar, and it's a really great choice of music. You should definitely check this film out. It's on Mubi. And then I watched 1927 film Metropolis. It's a German film, and I just wanted to introduce myself to the cinema of Fritz Lang. That's why I watched this film. I don't really have any feelings right now to articulate about this film. I will talk about this film in near future. And then I watched 2019 TV series called Dark Season 2 on Netflix. It's a German series. You should definitely check it out. The theme, the concept of this series is so confusing and mind-bending that at sometimes it really gets on your nerves, and you have to pause the film and you have to really get the details of the series into your head. It's really confusing, but you should really check it out. And then I watched a Hindi film called Eve Ale O. It was such a great film. It was one of the best Hindi films I've ever seen in my whole life. It's beautiful, it's horrifying, it's heartbreaking, it's heartwarming, it's amazing. You should definitely check it out if you get the chance to see this film. And then I watched a 2010 film by Christopher Nolan called Inception. I've seen this film already, but I wanted to see this film again to analyze some parts about the cinematography and to really get deep into the story. It was a great film and you should definitely check this out if you haven't seen this film, because this film is amazing. So yeah, these were pretty much every movie I have seen in the month of May 2020. So yeah, I will join back to you in next episode. So bye.